In late October 2023, Ocean Watch Australia was awarded a travel bursary from FRDC to attend the Ropeless Consortium in Nova Scotia, Canada, with 5 fisher representatives from around Australia. The group attended the conference to learn more about advances in ropeless fishing technology and whale entanglement mitigation. Hear from our fishers what they thought.
So my name's Jonathan Brocklesby, and I represent the Victorian Eastern Zone rock lobster fishery. One of the biggest things was probably the difference in our fisheries and the, I suppose, the structure of the fisheries that were in Canada and the States as opposed to here, the styles that they fished, and even though there's relevant issues regarding whale entanglements and the like, it was a very different, I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all kind of solution. Another would be development of the technology. I thought was amazing, and it's definitely got its place, and I think it's been great to hear that other fisheries and other even Australian fisheries have been using the technology previously and have found benefits outside of the whale entanglement idea, just through not having gear tampered with, to avoid shipping issues and stuff like that. And so I think that was an interesting kind of take on it. Probably another thing was to listen to the other Australian fisheries and hearing how they've kind of addressed issues to do with the whale entanglement. It was interesting to hear, for example, WA's kind of what they've been doing with, I think Matt was saying, like breakaways, and there's guys in New South Wales that have worked with things like the GTR, the galvanic time release and stuff like that prior. So yeah, getting that exposure, I suppose, to other fisheries and sharing that information was a big thing. Yeah. Not yet. I think the idea is heading the right way. I think they're still very developmental. I think that the acoustic and the very complex developments that are going on over there are a bit of an overkill. I think if anything was to be adopted through necessity here, it would be more the time-lapse galvanic time release. They're very simple, robust, reliable, and cost-effective methods. But I still don't think that they're quite there yet. It's kind of getting there, but the time management through the day of getting through all your gear and you've got tides, you've got weather to contend with, and other deadlines and things like that, to increase that time taken to get through the gear is a very important thing to a harvester. So the still the efficiency of the developments is, I don't think it's there yet, but probably out of all of the all the different kind of types of ropeless technology or ideas that are out there, I think the timer, I think was it Subsea Sonics? I think that was probably the standout. I thought that they were very simple and really catered for the fishing industry. So that's what I took from that one. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not, I'm really only in the wrasse and the rock lobster fishery, so I'm not really aware of how other fisheries work and their day-to-day kind of routines and gear usage. But I'd imagine for a fishery that had things like strings or trawls, or one surface line, for instance, and like octopus, I think that's the way that they work. One or two surface lines and a trawl of traps. I think that from a cost efficiency perspective, it'd be, it'd probably have its place. Yeah, it'd be good to see and hear from other fisheries about, what they think of it. I suppose, like similar to the New South Wales guys, I think that that have been using it to avoid any tampering of the gear, like poaching or illegal lifting of gear, or stuff like that, I think there would be an advantage if you were in an area that was you had those issues. Then that could be good, I suppose, if you're looking to fish in shipping lanes and or very high traffic areas. I'd imagine that there would be advantages to it. That's probably the only real areas that I could think of. That I don't think it would be taken up in this area. And where I fish is probably one of the more concentrated traffic-wise areas, like close to Melbourne and this kind of spot. Whereas further down the coast, I don't think they've got as much problems with other users kind of thing, and traffic and stuff like that. But I don't think it'll be taken up for those reasons. But yeah, I can't speak for other fishermen. I think, from my understanding, I think that there would be, it'd be hard to get that change kind of going forward with the way the technology is at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been thinking about this one a bit, and I think that I was going into this kind of whole trip with the idea that it was predominantly the southern right whale kind of mitigating the risk of entangling that. And whilst that's very important, we've got an increase in these humpback populations, which is a wonderful problem to have. So rescue and response, I think, is probably predominantly an awareness to fishers. So, ideas like having those smart buoys available through the rescue and response, so fishers can work with organisations to make sure that they're staying on whales and able to locate them. I think that's probably a really big one. We've had response times here that were, kind of hours to days kind of set up. So we don't really have that infrastructure. I think that'd be a wonderful thing to see funding put into that. And then also, using things like we've got a massive tourism side of things to have a database of whale locations, and we've got a massive citizen science and communities that are always following whales during the season and stuff like that. Would be quite valuable in locating and tracking whale populations and stuff like that. So I think that's probably where, always in our industry trying to progress with our own initiatives and stuff like that, where there's been talk, like in Tassie, they've got a 48-hour soak time from memory. Don't quote me on that, but I think there's a limit as to how long the pots can be in the water, whereas here over winter, we don't have that. And it's not an easy thing to implement because we've got some fishers running small boats that they can't bring all their gear in one hit. But then again, we're not getting a lot of those smaller boats fishing over the winter. So, to talk with fishers and come up with solutions that work with their daily kind of or business setups and stuff like that, as to how we can get latent effort or unfished pots off the ground during those whale times, I think is a really big thing. And it's also great for industry because it reduces mortality and allows other users of the ocean get around without having to worry about running into gear and things like that. So I think that there's some preventative kind of setups that we should be looking at going forward. And from what I've heard through our industry, people are very proactive and happy to, happy to be involved with that. Basically, it's seen to be a last resort, the use of ropeless gear. So I think a lot of fishers are very happy to look at other avenues and stuff like that, and be very proactive about anything that will limit whale entanglement or the risk of whale entanglement. And they don't, fishermen don't want to wrap up any whales or have anything like that. They all love the ocean. That's why they're out there. So I think we're all on the same page as that. But it's just coming up with the right kind of solutions, which is where Ocean Watch comes in. No, it'd be great to, hear about what other fisheries kind of think of the idea. I really appreciate being able to join the other guys on the trip, and I, look forward to being involved in this space as other fishers do, with anything that's going to keep not only the social licensing but keep the oceans healthier and happier. And so we've got a place to go to work every day.